All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? I am running late today because this stream is hot off the grill for you. It is roughly 5 o'clock West Coast time. We're not going to get into the minutes here. And I'm thinking it's going to be probably 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. PPP Bang in the house, catching that snap that I did. Yes, indeedy, because you see, I was on the verge of panic right before I came on, plugged in my microphone, and the computer came up with a warning, does not recognize device. And I was snapping and clapping in front of that microphone, and let me tell you, nothing was picking up. So, minor freak out, but you do what you do, and you unplug it, and you plug it back in, and then I had to see, are you working? Because luckily the error message didn't come out, and so I was like, are you working? And so instead of saying, mic check 1 2 3, I went snap to see if it recognized any kind of noise. And lo and behold, it did. So, one catastrophe has been averted. This particular stream and some of the things on it definitely have been, I wouldn't say catastrophes in the making, but it sure felt like it. How about that? All right, so on that note, we are going to get things started, and then I'll come back and say, hey, how's it to everybody who was hanging out, waiting for the situation. All right, here we go. And once again, with our theme of flying by the seat of our pants, I had to take a little bit longer to put on my much glamorous lipsticks. All right, you guys. So, who the heck is here hanging out, talking amongst yourselves, which I love. Looks like we got Shock in the house, and we have got PPP Bang, which we knew, little snappy snapperson. We have got Gina, and we've got Elaine on the YouTube side. Darlene is here saying hello to everybody. And let's see here, Felicia, always also in on the YouTube side saying hello. Goof evening to you as well, Rick. Goof evening is the perfect phrase for what we've got going on here tonight. And let's see here. All right, so Rick coming in on the YouTube side as well. That's right. For those of you who are watching live, and for those of you who are watching a repeat of this stream, don't forget to smash that like button if you can. And let's see here, what else do we have? Darlene, PPP Bang, and let's see here, Rick and Gina, Elaine. All right, cool. Looks like the usual crew is here today. And even though PPP Bang is like, I've missed a couple streams, that's okay. Nobody needs to be here every day. But PPP Bang, I did hop in on one of Terry's streams not too long ago and saw you were there, which made me so very happy. You are totally just coming on into the crew, the coolest crew on the interwebs as far as I'm concerned. So, I'm so glad that our tentacles are reaching further and further across the globe, from Scotland to Finland, all the way over to Hawaii and Seattle and all of the Americas in between. And so, yes, you were there even today. Oh, right on. I was not there today, as you know. I was trying to figure out, what are we going to talk about today? And in trying to figure that out at the last minute, I had inspiration. And so you guys are going to be stuck learning about a fast food chain that's on the West Coast that's coming to Miami. It's coming to Florida. I think it's also coming to Wyoming, Montana, and Arkansas. I think it's also hitting up Kentucky if it's not already there. But But we will be talking about the infamous Jack in the Box today. Jack in the Box is a beloved West Coast fast food chain. It's also in Hawaii, and it's open 24 hours. And yeah, it's its own interesting little thing, as it were. But we're not going to talk about that first. First, what we're going to talk about is emergency recipes. How about that? It looks like Shock is maybe putting out the request for an emergency recipe. I'm not quite sure. I do know that this is the time of year when emergency recipes are necessary. Sometimes that first issue or that first recipe that you try doesn't really work out. So let's see here. Oh, just that one topic could be emergency recipes. Oh, well, there you go. And actually, you guys, speaking of emergency recipes, okay, I just learned this the other day. And perhaps all y'all already knew about this, but, and PPB Bang, you probably are just like, I don't even know what you're talking about here. But for the people who live in the United States, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. All right, so are you familiar with Lipton soup? The blue boxes of the Lipton soup mix. They're generally used, the beef and the onion ones are usually used, or excuse me, the onion one is used for that classic dip where you mix one envelope of the soup with one 16-ounce container of sour cream and then let it sit in the fridge for a minute, and then it turns into a lovely dip. Okay, beautiful and wonderful. Well, did you know, you guys, that you can take, it's like, I do this with the beefy onion. If you need an extra bit of gravy, because sometimes there's not enough gravy, right? And not having enough gravy can kind of be an issue for some people, right? So if you have those Lipton soup envelopes, get yourself a beef one or a beefy onion one. Or I suppose you could probably do, you probably couldn't use chicken because chicken has the noodles in it. But basically, if you're looking for some sort of beef type gravy, or even an onion gravy, take one of those envelopes, have one of those envelopes, but then in a pan, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of flour, or if you're gluten-free, 1 tablespoon of butter, half a tablespoon of cornstarch. Stir that up a bit, create your roux, and then add the soup packet and a cup and a half of water, bring it to a boil, and boom, and stir it for like 5 minutes, and boom, you've got yourself about 2 cups of extra gravy instantly out of the cupboard, if you happen to need it. And Shock, RE Gravy, a friend who doesn't cook much, overdid the cornstarch in the gravy a few months ago. We kind of had solid custard rather than a gravy. Precisely, yes, especially with cornstarch, because cornstarch, a lot of people, if you're using flour to make a roux, you totally want to make it equal parts fat, so oil, butter, margarine, whatever, and flour. But when you're working with cornstarch, you want to use half the amount of cornstarch. So if you're not used to working with cornstarch, you think you need more than you really do. And cornstarch thickens up really easy. So you can always add a little bit more later if it's too thin. But basically, yeah, the biggest problem that most people have with gravy is over thickening it, and you end up with a gravy custard instead. And so Shock is saying, but I liked it that way. It stayed where you put it, which actually can be something to be said for that. But basically, though, cornstarch or flour, whatever you're using, you can literally make a good amount of gravy with one of those packets of Lipton soup, which is very nice to be able to pull out of your sleeves. your sleeve when you're faced with a sudden gravy shortage at the table. Literally less than 5 minutes, you can have a fresh batch of hot gravy waiting to be served up. And so, so very, very, very good here. And let's see here. And Darlene is talking about how she can relate to the accidental thick. I've made a bunches of gravies and sausages, and of all time to fail, it had to happen when Thanksgiving. Oh my God, Thanksgiving dinner, meeting one of your son-in-law's parents who came in from Florida. And now I'm glad that it's a running joke, your failed gravy. Oh, how humiliated. And of course, it's like every gravy you did before that was something perfect and like magazine worthy, I'm sure. And then this one time, and actually, Rick, you bring up a good point. Beware that fresh new box of cornstarch too. I've never noticed a difference, but at the same time, why wouldn't there be? Cornstarch absorbs so much liquid that once you break that seal, it's going to start absorbing the ambient humidity in your house and just be a little bit less absorbent is maybe what I'm thinking you're saying here. And Andre, when going through TSA search, they wondered why I had Lipton soup mix up my sleeve. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think it would be legal. I mean, first off, it's not liquids, and it is marked and sealed, right? I mean, I think you're allowed to bring food onto the plane. And Darlene, oh, there's a difference, just like fresh baking powder or baking soda too. That does make sense. And PPP Bang, which one is better, Christmas food or Thanksgiving food? I think you're going to have to, I think that's going to vary from household to household. I was talking to my coffee lady the other day, and she is going to a place for Thanksgiving that's serving ham for Thanksgiving instead of turkey. Now, turkey in America is the traditional Thanksgiving meat. Now, granted, Italian Americans and Mexican Americans are just like, turkey has no place at my Thanksgiving feast, whatever, all you white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. But from a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant perspective, turkey is the traditional meal. And she was really upset because she was going to a place that had ham, and she didn't really think that ham was right for Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving should be all about mixing your mashed potatoes and your turkey with your gravy, and you just don't do that with ham, she said. So, I can honestly say that everybody's got a different tradition of traditions. My house, we always had turkey. Growing up, I don't do anything for Thanksgiving now. But back in the day, my house, we always had turkey for Thanksgiving. We always had roast beef for Christmas. We always had clam chowder on Christmas Eve. That was a personal family quirk. The clam chowder has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of collective tradition. But usually, Christmas was some sort of roast. And then Easter is when you have the ham. And my my coffee lady and I both agree on that. Easter is when you have the ham. And so, it all depends on what you like. If you're like a super stoked ham person, well then Turkey Day, Thanksgiving would probably suck, And let's see here. So, Rick confirming that it was new cornstarch that caused the gravy fail. And yes, Andre, people do love honey baked hams. And let's see here. Shock. Oh, you're gonna go. So you're having duck tomorrow because she's got a fancy cook at home. But on Saturday, you're getting another Thanksgiving meal from English people. If it was on a Sunday, I'd say you'd be getting a roast. But if it's on a Saturday, I don't really know what you would be getting. Very curious. Very curious. And let's see here. So, oh, cool, Shock. You're going to have a couple students from China with you tomorrow. So you're going to try to show them as much tradition as possible, except for the turkey and except for the pumpkin pie. and except for the canned cranberry sauce, and except for the drama. That is so funny. Yeah. PB Bang, I don't know if you know what she means by canned cranberry sauce, but part of, and I don't know why this is, but one of the very traditional Thanksgiving sides that we have in America is cranberry sauce. Now, you can either make cranberry sauce on the stove yourself, which is what I do, and it's delicious, or you can buy it in a can. When you buy it in a can, it ends up being this bright red Jell-O block that literally is in the shape of a can. So like you undo your can lid and you dump it out on the thing and it just comes out in one blob, and it's got like the ridges of the can still in it, and people like slice it, or I don't eat the stuff. But okay, you've seen it in a video, so you know what we're talking about. Yeah, and it doesn't look that good. Exactly. I have no doubt in my mind that it probably tastes wonderful. But in my 50 years on this earth, I've never had canned cranberry sauce. I just can't. I won't. I don't. It reminds me too much of beets, I think. Now, fresh cranberry sauce, super delicious. Super delicious. Cranberries are kind of tart, or really tart, actually. And I'll tell you what, cranberries with cranberry sauce on top of vanilla ice cream is flippin' delicious. And so, if you've never tried cranberry sauce over ice cream and you have access to both in this coming holiday season, I suggest you give it a try. And let's see here. You just eat ham and potato box for Christmas. Obviously, we don't have Thanksgiving, says PB Bang, but we also have Midsummer, where you eat traditional foods, but you've never taken part of that. Got it. Now, PB Bang, when you say ham and potato box, I'm not familiar with that phrase, or maybe the phrase is just potato box. What is that, or what can you expand on that? And let's see here. And Andre, by the way, you asked, do we have honey baked ham in Seattle? Yes and no. I'm assuming that honey baked ham is maybe a honey baked ham is a brand name, in which case, no, we do not. Now, as far as honey baked hams, well, yeah, we've got those. Those are everywhere. But it sounds like you're talking like about a very specific brand name, or maybe even a store. No, we don't have those. Casserole, PBB Bang, is more accurate. Right, it's in a box. All right, I get it. Okay, cool, right, ham and potato casserole. That sounds really good, actually. Yeah, and in the and actually, PBB Bang, just so you know, so casserole, absolutely perfect word that you chose. However, in Midwest American dialect, what you would call a casserole is called a hot dish. So now you know a little bit of American trivia. Baked potato casserole and ham, or yeah, you could eat it every day for the rest of your life. Nice. Oh, Gina, last year you put leftover canned cranberry sauce in stovetop oatmeal. It was good. Okay. I will totally approve of that. I've never thought of cranberry sauce in canned or otherwise in oatmeal, but I might have to try that. That actually sounds really good. And then let's see here. Rick, if we were motivated, we could go pick plenty of wild cranberries in the swamps around your cabin. Oh, that is so awesome. Yeah, we don't have to do that here. We have the Ocean Spray Factory right on the coast. So I let the Ocean Spray Factory pick them. And Bacola T, thank you so much for re-upping your sub. Happy early Thanksgiving. You're chatting until 3 rowdy boys arrive for grandma duty. All right, good for you. Thank you so much for that 2+ years of subscriptions. And let's see here. Oh, shock. I can see why you're terrified. Shock's Mr. Me just asked if we had a fish plate. And you're like, what's a fish plate? Yeah, and that leads me to believe that he is thinking of some sort of fish course. And because I'm assuming fish plate, he actually means a platter. And I know how you feel about seafood. So yeah, good luck with that, honey. Good luck. So let's see here. And Honey Baked Ham is a store with glazed ham and other meats that are crunchy and sweet. People seem to line up for them. Yeah, I seem to remember hearing about that store. And no, we don't have one. Never had one of them. Their things. And oh my goodness, we are on a level 2 hype train thanks to Andre throwing out all the gift subs and the like. I'm super stoked for that. Thank you so much. And Darlene, cranberry and oatmeal is good. You're right. You know what, Darlene? Cranberry and oatmeal is so much good. It is so much good. I don't care. It's so much good. Because, you put dried cranberries in your granola once when you sent some granola to me. And, oh yeah, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. And so Picola tea, 1 roasted turkey, done. 1 smoked turkey, done. 1 baked ham, done. Round 2 for all the side dishes starts tomorrow. Oh my gosh, Picola tea, you are totally getting ready for a feast. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm gonna come to your house for leftovers for the next 3 weeks, I think. Oh, excelente. I wish you were closer because I'd come steal your turkey bones. I don't know if you do anything with your turkey bones, but for me, the only reason why I get a turkey as a single person, turkeys are just too big for one person, you know? But I love to get a turkey after Thanksgiving when they're on sale so I can get their bones to make turkey stock, because turkey broth and turkey stock is so much better than chicken stock. It tastes so much better. And let's see here. It looks like Hawaiian 5-0 coming in. Aloha. We are Big Shock here talking about Thanksgiving foods, etc., etc. Turkey bones and ham bone already in the freezer for future soup. Oh, Picola tea. Good plan. But if somebody all of a sudden breaks into your freezer and your bones are missing, I don't know who could have done it. I don't know who would do such a thing. A good thing I don't live close enough to make good on my threats and promises. Now, PvP Bang. Andre, thank you so much for that 400 bits. We have now completed level 2. We are super stoked. Oh, dude. But what I am wondering, perfect Picola tea, blame it on the cats if any bones are missing. There we go. That'll be my alibi. Oh, it's the cat that did it. It was the cats. So, but PvP Bang, I need for you, that's right, I need for you to tell me a little bit more about this ham and potato casserole. So now, like, do you boil the potatoes first, or like what tell me about this casserole, I guess, because I would like to maybe, try it one day, especially since you could eat it every single day. And I don't know if I've got all the ingredients. I don't think I've got ham in my house right now. Yeah, put it on Discord, dude. Oh, do you have PvP Bang? Are you on my Discord? And if not, how do I get to invite people? Let me go. Yes, I do have Discord. So that is the little Discordy thingy. And so if you guys are not a part of the Discord, then by all means, join on in. We even have, actually, hold on. Yeah, we even actually have a Darlene's granola recipe section. So if you want to learn about that granola recipe that I mentioned earlier, we actually have that recipe there too. In fact, I should probably start a thread for recipes because yeah, you know, but let's see here. And Shock, is it a perpetual link or a 1 weeker? I think it might just be a 1 weeker because I don't really know how to tell the difference, but it was just, I'm pretty sure it's just a 1 weeker. Sorry. So hot off the presses, join that now, or you've got a week's time. And let's see here. Is the name of it Nikukas? All right, yeah. Kinkukusao. Yeah, I don't even know how to begin to pronounce that word. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Well, how do I make sure it's a... Oh. Hey, Shock, how do I know if it's just a 1 weeker? Oh, you guys, tech is difficult. In fact, to elucidate just how difficult tech is, I'm going to show you this video that I made. Wait, hold on, wait. If I choose don't edit the link and choose never, it's a 1 weeker. I don't really know what you mean by that, so I'll have to go take a look at that. But I want to say thank you so much, C Honda, for the 300 bits. That's so awesome. We are, I think, on a level 3 hype train now or something like that. Dudes, we're stoked. We haven't seen a hype train in forever. And by the way, you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, a hype train is a Twitch thing where basically donations and subscriptions to the channel, when they happen within a certain time frame, it starts a hype train. Now, unfortunately, you YouTubers cannot necessarily join in on the hype train since you're on the YouTube side, or perhaps you're watching this on the restream. If you do want to help this channel out, there is a PayPal donation button on my YouTube page as well. That being said, I'm not asking you to click that PayPal donation, but if you did want to, you do have the availability. What I am asking you to do, though, if you really can, is click that like button. All right, we're going to try that one more time. Click that like button on the YouTube page because that is very helpful. Whew. And there we have that. But talking about tech difficulties, we've been having some tech difficulties with words. But this video that I'm about to play you has literally, this is probably the 7th version of this video that I have tried to create. I have tried to create it in under 2 different editing softwares. The first software rendered it so poorly that I realized I am literally forced to now learn a new software. So this video is the very first video that I've ever used with DaVinci. I don't know what the heck I'm doing on DaVinci at all. There are so many things wrong with this video that I did and then had to undo and then redid them. And now that like it's as close to perfect as I could get, it's still all messed up. And shock, yes, the render settings and quality and aspect ratio are all of the excuse me, are all of the final hurdles that I may or may not have stumbled upon. I just don't know. But what I do know is, Doe, so good to see you. Thanks for coming in here on the Thanksgiving Eve stream here. And so Shock and the imported project frame might matter. Yeah, those were yes, indeedy, Shock. That is something that I learned after I thought I was done with the video, and then anyway, this is a 4-minute long video. It has a Lono song in it. The Lono song is called Life is Pretty Good. You can get it on the Eevee project that he just released of the same name. Life is Pretty Good. This is a video of West Seattle fall, this fall, beautiful sunny day, bright fall colors, which was what I was trying to capture, and it's going from one side of the high line of Seattle to the other side, and for a brief moment, you will literally be traveling on the highest elevation within the city of Seattle. It's really nothing that's amazing, but it is the highest elevation, hence the high line. So here we go. Let's go watch a video that frankly I am really tired of looking at. I hope you guys enjoy it more than I do.
In the light of the river that flows, carries a lake to the ocean it will go, then out to the sea. Oh, the river rises somewhere in a new world, waiting for something alone. Life is pretty good.
All right, good. I am so happy that this was a video worth me dealing with time and time again, because yeah, the colors were popping against that blue sky. And even though Seattle does have a reputation for being rainy all the time, and there is an element of truth to that, we really do also have some of the bluest skies. I think Perry Como wrote a song about that very thing. The bluest skies he ever seen are in Seattle. And when you've got those bright blue skies with those poppin' fall colors, West Seattle, luckily, is still... I mean, obviously, Seattle is a city that is constantly growing, and West Seattle is definitely not immune to that. But they also have a lot of older neighborhoods, which is what we were driving through, that, haven't really changed a lot since the 50s and 60s when those homes were built. And so the only thing that has maybe changed is the size of the trees and how much bigger they are now 70 years later than when they were first planted. So yeah, I'm super stoked that all you guys who don't get to experience the bright fall colors that we have here in the Pacific Northwest, I'm so happy to be able to share them with you. I know that Hawaii has its own set of beauty. I know that Texas has its own set of beauty. I know that Florida has its own beauty, but it's not necessarily that crisp fall, multicolored leaf situation that you get. And I know that New England is sort of considered the prime zone for that type of experience, but the West Coast the Pacific Northwest definitely has a colorful fall as well. And Andre, yes, thank you so much. Yes, my videos are what made you come to Seattle, more specifically West Seattle, actually. Andre's been to this area on more than one occasion, and I don't think he has ever focused his time on the city of Seattle proper. He has spent his time on the West Seattle Peninsula, which includes a place called White Center, and then my hometown, which is Burien. Burien basically borders on, for the most part, Seattle. It is an extension of the city for the most part, and so we have a lot of amazing things that you can experience without having to even go downtown. So let's see here. PPP Bang, I prefer the cold over the hot as well, because you can always... Oh my god, did you just write that? Because you can always put on more clothes, but there's only so many clothes you can take off. That is exactly why I prefer the cold over the hot as well. And oh good, Chuck, you don't have to drive out to pick up your guests. One of them actually has a car. That is so beautiful. And let's see here. Yeah. Darlene, you think Andre is part of Seattle with all of his visits there? Well, frankly, I think Andre is a natural part Seattlean just because he's from the Bay Area. And the Bay Area and the Puget Sound both have very strong connections. Culturally, economically, technologically, we really are sort of sister cities, as it were. And when I say cities, I don't mean cities, I mean areas, because the Puget Sound, when people say Seattle, they really mean the Puget Sound area. When people say San Francisco, they really mean the Bay Area. And so, yeah, I definitely think that Andre has some Seattle flavoring just because he's from the Bay Area. And let's see here. It sounds like we've got a snowstorm up in PPP Bang's area, which can be beautiful, actually. But let's see here. And let's see here. And right, Chuck, exactly. When you say DC, you mean anything from Laurel, Maryland, all the way down to Springfield, Virginia. Right. And so, yeah, Gina, I'm in the DC area. Exactly. Yeah, like, for instance, people are kind of surprised to hear this, but, like, Seattle actually is kind of a small city. It's barely got 1 million people in it, if that, actually. the city proper. But when you take into consideration the metropolitan area of the Puget Sound and all of the communities combined, well, we actually have 4 million people in a very, very small mass of land. Like in less than 100 square miles. In fact, I dare say in 50 square miles, we've got 4 million people jammed together. So while Seattle proper might not exactly be a big city, it's kind of a big city. And let's see here. A PPP Bang, barely a million sounds so wild to me. That's 20% of your country. Well, you know, the United States is a little bit bigger than Finland, as it were. And so, but yeah, I can see how barely a million seems, it seems like a funny thing. Like barely, that's kind of significant, isn't it? Well, you know, when you've got cities like New York City, that are, you know, 8+ million, not even a million, you know, is, you know, we're still a small fry in the realm of big cities. And so, and let's see here. Right, PPP Bang, there are states that are bigger than your country. Well, now, yeah, I mean, yeah. California being one of them. In fact, California is such an amazingly powerhouse of a state that if California was its own country, it would contain the 5th largest economy in the world, larger than that of Germany. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Europe and the power players in it, but I was always under the impression that Germany was kind of a big boy on the block. So, if California can even dwarf a power player like Germany, California is, yeah, huge. And yeah, okay, Andre coming in. California has 39 million people, about 66% of the West Coast population. Yep, there we go. And I dare say that Washington probably has more than... I mean, the West Coast is ultimately Washington, Oregon, and California. So if California has 2/3 of it, that leaves 1/3 of it to be divided by Washington and Oregon. Oregon's got nobody. Oregon is a very empty state in comparison to Washington. So Washington has the next, you know, the next chunk of West Coasters, as it were. And yeah, Germany's not really massive, but they have 90 million people. Right, exactly. And oh, right, Finland, or PPP Bang, Finland looks way bigger on the map because it's way up north. Everything looks bigger up there and smaller in the south. Right. That makes sense. And let's see here. Andre, Washington has 6 million people. Well, okay, but how many people does Oregon have? I'm not saying that Washington can even come close to what California's got, but I know we've got more than Oregon's got, right? You better tell me we got more than Oregon's got. Oregon doesn't have that many people. And I know, right? Actually, Picola T, I was thinking I was going to bust out the globe, because on a globe, you don't have that map distortion. Let's see here. And, oh, okay, cool, PPP Bang. TrueSize.com is a great site for comparing sizes, not to sound like a pervert here. Yeah, no, yeah, totally, dude. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me, and it is such a mind blower when you look at how distorted maps are versus, you know, what they really... Size comparisons. Like, for instance, the United States seems like it is very large. But I think you can, like, fit about 8 United Stateses in Africa. You know, and you know, we like to think we're the big kids, but it's like, no, dude. And I realize Africa's a continent and the United States is just a country, and it's kind of comparing apples to oranges. But still, America does think it's pretty big, but we could fit a lot of us inside of Africa. Cool, excellent. So Shock's got the link to the truesize.com. PPB Bang, being super savvy, knew how to post the link without posting the link, allowing us to see what the link could have been. And let's see here. And Shock, now she's playing with it. Now she's playing with that site, and it says if you drop the continental US on the sticky bit out of Africa, it makes it not quite to Egypt. Right. So like we could probably fit like 8 of them in, and and that is true, not including Alaska, just the contingent 48. But yeah, there you go. And Wisconsin has something like 6 million, not as big as California or Africa. No, not even close. I'm kind of surprised to hear though that Wisconsin has 6 million people. Wisconsin must have a population density that's a lot greater than the state of Washington has. Then again, the state of Washington, the vast majority of the people who live here live within like a 50 mile, square mile or 50 mile radius. And that's 4 million of the 6 million live in this tiny little area. That's where I live. And hey, Jess Scuzzy, good to see you. Does Wyoming even have 1 million people? I have no idea. I would be willing to bet that they do not. I do know that, now this might not be true now, but I know that in the 2000 census, so that's 20 years ago, two censuses ago, in the 2000 census, there was actually less people in Wyoming than there was 100 years prior. Wyoming is one of the few states that's actually shrinking in population. And let's see here. Yeah, the San Francisco Bay Area has 6 million people, right? And the Puget Sound area has 4 million people. So we're pretty, pretty similar in that sense. And let's see here. What do we got here? But okay, so Wyoming doesn't, yeah. The population of Seattle is bigger than the population. And when I say the population of Seattle, I mean the city proper. The population of the city of Seattle in the city limits is almost half again as big as the population of Wyoming in its entire state. But speaking of Wyoming, that's really weird, Just Scuzzy. Were you here at the beginning when I mentioned Wyoming? Because I did mention Wyoming. And now we're going to talk about Wyoming for just a quick minute. For those of you who aren't familiar with the West Coast and our fast food habits, we have a fast food chain called Jack in the Box. And Jack in the Box is a fast food chain that is open 24 hours. It's based out of San Diego, but it is gone all over the West Coast, and it's starting to spread. We've got them in Hawaii. We've got them I think we've got them in Texas. We've got them, and we've got them a bunch of places. The East Coast and the Midwest no longer have any Jack in the Boxes. In the mid-'80s, Jack in the Box had a weird financial situation. They closed all of their East Coast and Midwest stores. So, Andre, I thought that Jack in the Box was nationwide as well, but it's actually not. They're only in 23 states right now, and they're about to expand into 4 more states, including Wyoming, Montana, Florida, Arkansas, and I don't know if they've expanded already into Kentucky, but if they haven't, then they're going to still, but I think they're already in Kentucky. And isn't Jack in the Box the Taco Bell of burger joints? Hard to say. In fact, I don't know if I would count that. And no, you do not have a Jack in the Box in Wisconsin, Rick. I can tell you that right now. But as you guys can see, Jack in the Box is okay, so Taco Bell is a Yum company. Jack in the Box is not a Yum company. That Yum is the overriding corporation that owns the Taco Bell. Let's see here. Oh, the Taco Bell in terms of post-consumption digestive distress legends. I don't really. I mean, first off, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I don't really recall that as something a lot of people talk about. In fact, I dare say just the opposite. So as you can see, this menu is quite extensive. They've got snacks and sides, they've got burgers, they've got chicken sandwiches. They serve their breakfast sandwiches all day. They have grilled sandwiches, they have, hamburger sandwiches. But one thing that they also have is 2 tacos for 99 cents. And I know, Andre, that Jack in the Box used to have rice teriyaki bowls, which were so delicious. I love those things, but they no longer have them. One thing that Jack in the Box does have is a little bit of an identity problem. They have a lot of different foods that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. And one of those sets of foods is the 2 tacos for 99 cents. 2 tacos for 99 cents. These tacos I'm not really suggesting they're for human consumption, but what I am suggesting is drunk people love these tacos. And drunk people swear the reason why they don't get hung over after a night of drinking is because of these tacos. The greasiness and the taco sauce combine to make a magic elixir of hangover prevention. And for some reason, 99-cent tacos, or two for 99 cents, people love them. And they will keep eating them. It's one of the most popular menu items on their menu. I personally, as far as the strange items that they have, I'm a fan of their egg rolls. They have really good egg rolls. These are the egg rolls. So, we've got tacos, burgers, egg rolls. They used to have teriyaki rice bowls, but they don't anymore. But what we also have, and Andre was alluding to this, we have the munchie meals. Oops, here we go. Let's see if we can do something here. There we go. We have munchie meals. Now, not only do we have munchie meals, Snoop Dogg got in on the game, and the munchie meals, he's got his version, but basically for $6, you get a mixture of curly fries and regular fries, 2 tacos for 99 cents, a drink, and then your choice of some kind of burger. With Snoop's meal, you get 1 monster taco, curly fries, a brownie, and then I don't know what that was. But that's what they've got there. And then we've got all of these breakfast items that they serve all day, which is what I enjoy about Jack in the Box. I'm a big fan of their extreme sausage sandwich, but as you can see, they've got sandwiches with croissant, they've got sandwiches with grilled sourdough bread, they've got sandwich wraps, burritos, breakfast burritos, and they have hamburger bun sandwiches. So, tons of flippin' food from the Jack in the Box situation. Here is more examples of the food that you will get when you go to Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box is famous for their catering to the stoners. They literally have made commercials that they cater to the stoners. That's all it is. And extreme sausage sounds good to me. Can you get it without the sandwich part? My best guess is yeah, you can, but also it's easy enough to take apart that even if you get it with the bun, unless you're so sensitive that the bun touching would be a problem, the bun isn't like glued to the meat or anything. You could disassemble it yourself and have it easy peasy as well. And so, and PB Bang, I love nuggets and onion rings. That's usually what I order for my friend who owns a pizzeria just a couple miles away. Yeah, well, onion rings and nuggets, my friend. Welcome to Jack in the Box. And so, so yeah, this is what is coming to the East Coast. And let's see here. Yeah, this is basically Jack in the Box is coming to Florida. And eventually, my best guess is it will slowly creep its way through the East Coast and up to the Midwest. And Shock, you prefer that the product just never touches your sausage. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm sure they would. My best guess is they would do it. I can't say for certain because I've never asked, but I don't see why. I don't see why they would have a problem with charging you the same amount of money for giving you less food, right? And let's see here. So, oh yeah. But what I was going to say about, and Andre knows what we're talking about here, and anybody basically who has a Jack in the Box in their neighborhood, they know that the late night line through that drive-thru is insane. And one of the, Andre, you bring up a good point. Jack in the Box late night drive-thru in Florida sounds like it could be a bit dicey. Yeah, Florida man, late night Jack in the Box cravings, we could have a problem there. PB Bang, your favorite meal is vodka. Got it. Well, but okay, so your favorite meal might be vodka. Jack in the Box's favorite customers are stoners, and this is why I say that. So, Jack in the Box, unfortunately I don't have a picture of it, but their mascot is a little ping pong headed guy. It's like a little clown head. It's a clown head, basically. It's a little white ping-pongy clown head. And they oftentimes, for different events, will give out antenna balls of the clown head. So anyway, there literally was a commercial where this frizzy, long... Actually, his hair looked an awful lot like mine. Frizzy, long, curly, out of control. And he's sitting behind his steering wheel in his van, and he's looking at his Jack in the Box antenna ball on his dashboard, and he's like asking the ball, how many tacos do you think I should get? And the ball comes to life, I think you should get 40 tacos. And then he goes, that's what I was thinking. So, with a commercial like that, I can only assume that Jack in the Box knows who their audience is, and they are actively pursuing them. That's what I was thinking. So, yeah. And let's see here. Andre, when I was a kid, they had a bunch of Jack in the Box mascots and had more mascots, now only one. Well, when you were a kid, Andre, Jack in the Box was different than what they are now, because Jack in the Box for a minute turned into Monterey Jacks. They wanted to like class up the joint, and Monterey Jacks did not work out at all. So then they like went back to Jack in the Box, or like stopped or whatever. And then they came back with the new mascot, and the new mascot, I have been looking for this commercial and it's nowhere to be found. They had a commercial where the mascot Jack was in his clown head commercial, or his clown head ball thing in the suit, the way the mascot looks now. And he snuck up to like Wendy's house and left a bag of Jack in the Box food and was all hee, and then he like ran away, and then there was an explosion, and then the tagline was Jack's back, because Jack in the Box was reopening a bunch of restaurants, and it was their way to let everybody know that Jack in the Box was coming back. Whoa. You know, it's not a good look to have your mascot going around blowing things up after, say, the World Trade Center's first explosion, and then and then the World Trade Center's other explosions, and then the Oklahoma City bombing explosion, and all, because it was right before all of that happened was when that commercial came about. And it was funny. It was a funny commercial until it was not a funny commercial. And I have been looking for that that commercial because it's so jaw-dropping, but I really feel like the internet they've scrubbed the internet from it. I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, Jack's back. That was happening. That happened. That's when the new mascot came to be, was with the Jack's back line. So yeah. And let's see here. PB Bang just subscribed for 4 months in a row. I don't know if that really happened because I thought you just subscribed a couple weeks ago, but if that really did happen, thank you so much. Sounds like Twitch is going crazy in your situation there, Mr. PPB Bang. You can switch over to YouTube. We're streaming there as well. And so, yeah, I thought you just subbed like 2 weeks ago. So, but you know what? It could have been 2 months ago for all I know, because time is... I just don't even know how to keep track of time these days. It flies. All right, so let's see here. What do we have here? Oh, I remember what I wanted to show you guys, but instead of doing that, because I can't, because I didn't, oh, you found the Jack is Back commercial? Oh, Andre, send me the link. Send me the link in a whisper, or no, I don't know if you can post the link here. So send me, either try and post the link here or send me the link in a whisper. And, oh, okay, wait, what? Okay, well, you know what? Not Wendy's. It might not, the Wendy's part might have been me just making that up. And oh my God, you guys found it so easy. This is why you always need to fact check things that I say. I was convinced it was scrubbed from the internet, and all y'all are like, it's right here. Hello? Can I give you another link? Would you like 14 links to the same thing? Because it's all over the internet. Thanks, guys. I'll have to maybe download that commercial and show you guys just what the heck I'm talking about next time. But instead, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick Lono listening break, where he's going to perform Hi'ilave, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about something strange that's happening in White Center, and I'm just not sure what it is. So, let's do this, and then we'll do that.
Voila. Key of A if you got him. Aivana kamakua Ahelea ina ke kupuna Apuna ke alai mai No I ka vailelea o hilave Apuna ke alai mai No I ka vailelea o hilave Aina ia mai ana ka puana Kumaka kai kena ilave Aina ia mai ana ka puana Kumaka kai kena o ilave Ilave Love it. Sam Leah. Hawaii Island. Come on, man.
All right, there we go. So, let's see here. PPP Bang. Megadeth just got a Finnish guitarist. That is super awesome. So, I'm going to assume Dave Ellefson is still playing bass, right? He, and then obviously Dave Mustaine is, I'm assuming, still in the band because he kind of is the face of the band, as it were. Dave Ellefson Jr., his bass playing is some of my favorite bass playing ever. I've always loved to listen to his riffs, and I think it's so awesome that Megadeth is still kicking it. Because I remember back in the 80s, there was this huge, I mean, it still probably goes on, the Metallica versus Megadeth thing. And obviously Metallica won that battle, but, you know, Megadeth is still kicking it. So, you know, sort of like a, you know, screw you, James Hetfield. We don't care. We're still doing it. Oh no, so Dave Mustaine is the only original member at this point. Oh, so Dave Ellefson isn't playing bass with them anymore. That's too bad, because I loved Dave Ellefson. And for those of you who are like, shut up, rocker girl, we don't know who you're talking about. I know you don't. And I have no reason to, why do I even remember that name? But I do, because as a rocker girl, and that was important to me when I was a teenager. Oh, so Dave Ellefson is the bassist still. Okay. Oh, but you guess he wasn't the very original one. Oh, okay. I don't care. He's the original bassist as far as I'm concerned. He's the one who played the opening bass riff for the MTV Music News for like over a decade. And I really hope that Megadeth got paid a lot for that. Because every time you got to hear the MTV News, you got to hear the little opening riff to, oh, I can't remember. Is it Peace Sells, But Who's Buying, I think, is the bass line that they used for that. Okay, so, oh wait, he's not there anymore. Ellefson is not there anymore. All right. But at least you knew what I was talking about there, PPP Bang. Anyway, so what I was talking about right before we got sidetracked with Megadeth Megadeth, by the way, my mom loved the title of their albums. She thought they were so witty. She didn't like Megadeth, but she loved the title of their albums. She thought that they were just such a witty band. But anyway, okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with White Center is not a city. It's an unincorporated part of, it's an unincorporated piece of land. It's just part of the county. It's not part of any city boundaries. It butts up against Seattle. So White Center kind of bleeds into Seattle, but it's also its own thing. It's its own thing. We've got a lot of weirdness happening in White Center. A lot of art, a lot of homeless people, a lot of drug use, a lot of, like, there's a main drag in White Center that, like, quite honestly, if you're ever gonna randomly be shot when you're visiting the Pacific Northwest, like, that's where it's gonna happen. Just statistically speaking, that's where it's gonna happen. Anyway, so in that neighborhood, okay? In that neighborhood, White Center. Andre, you can maybe, yeah, well, the back, Andre's talking about the back end diagonal parking spaces. Yes, we have that in White Center as well. But White Center, though, also is a hotbed of international awesomeness. If you're gonna get the best tamales in Seattle, you have to go to White Center. If you want to get Cuban food, you have to go to White Center. If you want to get Hawaiian food, you can go to White Center. If you want some of the best Vietnamese sandwiches, you have to go to White Center. White Center is super international. A lot of amazing restaurants in this community, but it is the rough side of town. In the rough side of town, there is, I don't know what it is. I honestly, in fact, tomorrow I'm kind of going to go take some video footage to figure out what the flying fork this is. But there is a business. It must be a car repair place or something. I don't know. You know these cars? These cars. Tesla Roadsters. They're like race cars. Over $100,000 a pop. Easy. Over $100,000 a pop. There is some place in White Center that must service them, because literally there is a block in White Center. I drive past it every day on my way to work. That has, just yesterday, I counted 8 Tesla Roadsters along that stretch of the block. Another 2 Tesla Roadsters on a diagonal street off that block. And then I noticed the building, or the business of why, like, because I've been wondering, why are all these Teslas here? Then I noticed the building, their lot is full of them. There had to have been at least like 15 Tesla Roadsters in their back parking lot, garage area, not to mention all the ones on the street. And so, all I could think of was like, wow, you know, what a horrible accidental car accident to get into. You get rear-ended and you accidentally hit one of these 7 cars that's parked on the street. And then that Tesla hits that Tesla, and that Tesla hits that Tesla, and that Tesla hits that Tesla, and then that Tesla hits that Tesla. And suddenly, you know, you're looking at like a quadrillion dollars worth of damage. And you're just like, kill me now. I mean, I might as well just die now, because I'm going to be in debt for the rest of my life, paying for all these expensive Tesla cars that were parked in White Center. I just can't get over. What are they doing there? I mean, they're just, Darlene, exactly. Oh my, that would be terrible. Right. But they literally are parked in an area that every time I drive by them, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to touch that. It's a narrow, curvy, it seems like a very dangerous place. And I noticed earlier this summer that they started showing up, and I was like, oh, that's weird. There's a Tesla right there. And then the next day I was like, wow, there's 2 Teslas right there. And then one day I was like, wow, there's 5 Teslas in a row. they have only, the Teslas are having babies. They're only getting more. I don't know what this place is. It's a Tesla collector shop. I don't know. Well, well, Andre, I think you know that White Center is not Renton. And so even though the Tesla service place is in Renton, this place is doing something to them up here in White Center. I don't know what. One of them was all fancy pants, like it said around the world in 180 days. It looked like it had been like a show one, and some of them look like they've gone through races and things like that. Darlene, exactly, who can afford all of those? I can only hope and assume that these are not owned by the same person, but then again, I don't know. I'm wondering if they're like all totaled, because Teslas get totaled really easy. The moment that vapor barrier on the bottom is breached, basically, that is what keeps the car's lithium battery from getting exposed to water. And from what I understand, lithium batteries don't like getting exposed to water. And so the moment that vapor barrier is breached, even a pinhole, they total the Teslas. And so I'm wondering if they're a bunch of totaled Teslas that are then going to get sent to quite possibly the Ukraine. Now, when I say the Ukraine, I'm not talking about the fighting, but as it turns out, the Ukraine has been taking in a lot of totaled Teslas, and I guess they're a little more laissez-faire or adventurous with their electric vehicles over there, and so they're like untotaling them and making them work again. I don't know how. I was just reading an article about it the other day, or actually I was just reading a headline about it the other day, which is why I don't have the details. So yeah, I have no idea what is going on with this stash of Tesla Roadsters, but if somebody wants to come steal a bunch of Tesla Roadsters, I happen to know where there's like 15 of them. I don't know if they run, I don't know if they're totaled, I don't know who they belong to, but some of them are parked right on the flippin' street. Which is also what confuses me. It's like, wow, if I owned that Tesla, and if that shop was working on it, I wouldn't want my Tesla on the street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Rick, you just saw a YouTube video about a Tesla in submarine mode. Yep, an underwater fire. Yeah, apparently they do that. And so, you know, and pro tip, water's not going to put that fire out. So don't bother with that. Don't bother with that. All right, you guys, it is 4 minutes until the bottom of the hour. We have babbled about a lot of things. And let's see here. Hold on. PPP Bang, I love this. I don't know if it's true, but I love this if it is. There was a clip from Finland that went viral all over the world where that one dude blew up his Tesla with TNT because it was cheaper than having it fixed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Apparently Tesla batteries, you know, once they, you know, you need to eventually change out the battery. And changing out the battery alone is like $12,000. And so, you know, if you splurged and got the, you know, got the cheap $30,000 model Tesla, well, that's great. But when that battery goes out, you're still going to look at another 12 grand, which frankly, 12 grand, to be honest, is more than I've spent on my last 2 cars combined. Yeah, that's right. I buy old cars, but still, 12 grand is more than I've spent on my last 2 cars combined. And Darlene, they've got to have some kind of locking mechanism on them. And if they don't have a locking mechanism on them, they obviously have to have some sort of geo-tracking, Apple tag, air tag. You know, they've got, you know, low jack system, GPS tracking or whatever. But yeah, Darlene, 12K for a battery. Absolutely, yeah. There's a dark side to electric vehicles. I am not trying to be an anti-electric vehicle person. I understand our combustion engine days are far numbered, but the electronic cars, as wonderful as they are immediately, have some long-term ramifications that I'm not comfortable with the battery costs, for one. Where is the old battery being recycled to? And there's a lot of other environmental concerns with electronic vehicles as they're currently being produced. Once again, I am not dissing on electronic vehicles. I am not suggesting we need to stick with the combustion engine. I know that just the topic of electronic vehicles can actually be considered controversial, oddly enough. But I've seen people get angry over it, so I'm not going that route. And so let's see here. Andre, Medlock and Sons in Seattle rehabilitates roadsters and can fix any electric car. They also convert internal combustion to pure battery electrics. You wonder if this is the guy in white center. I don't know, but I do know that they're close enough to Seattle. Actually, you know what? I think they might technically be in Seattle, even though it's white center, like-ish. I'll have to look. Next time I go, I'm going to look. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to go, I figured I was going to go, there won't be a lot of traffic and stuff, and I was going to go wander around that area just to figure out what is going on here, because I'm nosy like that. And hey, DJ Smook, so good to see you. And okay, cool. It looks like PPP Bang has gotten the link to Rick, and Rick has just posted it here. So if you guys... if you guys want to see a Tesla blow up, can't imagine why anybody would want to see that. Oh wait, sign me up. If you want to see a Tesla blow up, click that link. I'm not going to click it yet because we're still doing the stream. But Andre, he's on Delridge. It's got to be that same guy. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go. All right, now we got something to go. Now I got something to go on. So yeah, I'm going to go check that place out tomorrow because they have basically infinity Teslas, okay? And they're all the roadsters. None of them are the poor people Tesla. None of them are that $30,000 Tesla that everybody's got these days. No, these are the expensive ones. And okay, so DJ Smook, you're coming in just at the very end because we are now at the bottom of the hour, but I want to let you guys know we will be here on Saturday for Statterbox at the cinema, and of course, Chatter with Statter again, 5 p.m. West Coast time on Sunday. So, this Saturday, if you're going to be around, we're going to watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. That is number 2 in the trilogy. We will eventually get to number 3, but Statterbox at Cinema this week, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Next week, it's going to be Lost Boys. I know, Halloween is over. What are you doing? Well, we're playing movies that I forgot that I liked, and I didn't have them in time to play them in Halloween, but Rick and Darlene were generous enough to give me a couple bucks to go get some Halloween movies and other movies that are watchable, so I spent a little bit of that money on this movie. Rick and Darlene, you probably aren't going to like this movie, sorry. But you're welcome to come watch it. It is a vampire movie. Not this weekend, but next weekend it'll be Lost Boys. This weekend, Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Hey, C Honda, good to see you. All right, so now that we've wrapped up what we've wrapped up and got the plans for the weekend, we're going to see each other when we can. And PPP Bang, I don't know if you posted that recipe for your potato and ham casserole, but don't forget to do that on the Discord because I definitely want to check it out. All right, there we have it. And Andre, I know every day is Halloween. Ever since the 80s, it has been declared. All right then, you guys, take care. We will see each other. Oh no, you got too lazy midway through the recipe. Well, at least put the ingredients so I have an idea of what is going on. But do it at your leisure. Just, try to remember because I really do want to know. And I might even try it. I will try it. All right then. Jack in the Box, potato casseroles, Tesla Roadsters, and I don't even remember what else. It was a great scattering of chatter. We'll see each other soon.